Today, let's talk about the reigning champions of Mexico, Club Atlas from Guadalajara. Los Zorros have been around since 1916, and their fans are called the Faithful, seeing as it can go few and far in between before silverware comes back to the club, except for this year. They've won back-to-back tournaments in Liga MX, and that's only something 3 clubs in Mexico can claim all time. The home kit from this season shows that off with a champion's badge in gold right in the center with a C22 on it, standing for Clausura 22. That's helped them tack on the 3rd star here, and it's been a long time for these 2 stars to be added to the kit because the first one was there since 1951. My favorite detail from this kit is the little fox that you can see embossed here, if I can get the light to catch it just right. Beyond the 3 league titles, they've also taken 4 cups, as well as 5 Campeón de Campeones cups. So, 3 key things about Club Atlas. Number 1 is their rival from across town in Guadalajara, Chivas. Their matchup is called El Clásico Tapatío, and they even named the opposing club. Chivas is not the official title of the club, it's Club Deportivo Guadalajara, but they were given that title by fans from Atlas during a match in the 1940s where they wanted to insult the players by calling them crazy goats. Guadalajara now take it as their moniker. Second is how important Club Atlas is for the Mexican national team, with the Cantera coming through this club being some of the most important players that have played for Mexico in the last 3 or 4 generations. Daniel Osorno, Rafa Marquez, Juan Pablo Rodriguez, Pavel Pardo, Miguel Zepeda, Jared Borghetti, Osvaldo Sanchez, and Andres Guardado. As you can tell from those names, many of the key players for El Tri from the late 90s onwards can count Club Atlas as their cradle. And unfortunately, third, we should talk about a riot that occurred in a match between Atlas and Querétaro in March of this year. Most of the way through the match at the Estadio Corregidora, fights broke out between rival fans in many places. There were assaults and beatings that day, and what many reported as deaths, even though local officials have denied this without giving any real evidence to the contrary. Beyond that, the point to bring up here is what changes have come to Mexican football in just the following months. So Querétaro have not been able to play games in front of fans, and that's going to go on for at least a year. The Barras for both clubs, that being supporters groups, have been banned from going to away matches for 6 and 12 months, respectively. The owners of Querétaro have been banned from football activities in Mexico for 5 years, and the club itself has to be sold within a year, or the Mexican League has to take it on and do that itself. And more broadly in the Mexican League, a lot of new security features are going in for fans as well as for clubs, with mixed results so far. While the results of the previous 2 tournaments have dried up this season, the squad quality is still there, with the 3 names to bring up being Julio Furch, their Argentine striker, whose consistent goal scoring during the previous 2 tournaments brought them about to their titles. A solid influence in the middle of the pitch is their captain, Aldo Roca, and the man they brought in this season, Edison Flores, as a winger, who hasn't been as influential there as he has been for the Peruvian national team just yet. So this has been your rundown on Club Atlas of Mexico.